show stands out to you guys? Do you have a show that stands out the most to you guys at Trash Bone?
I got one. The very last one.
We weren't only shut down here at the music venue. Like, we were told, like, there's no sell, like, our shop, you know, because we have a shop next door, and we were told we couldn't even, you know, conduct business there. Like, we couldn't do anything. Nothing could be done because it was strictly for a church, and that was to what it was. And I remember the guy was so mad because the city guy, and I forget what his name is, Ben. I think his name is Ben. And
Bend over.
Yeah, bend over, buddy. Anyway, so he was like, well, you know, you can't have this here, and you can't be conducting this type of business. This is a church, and that's all it can be, and blah, 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 blah. And Jason rants out, like, you know, because Jason's already told him, you know, that this is his shop, and he sells stuff here, and that he has a website company, like a marketing company, LRG Marketing. And then Jason, like, pops off at the mouth. He's like, or I think maybe he had his camera out or something. And Jason's like, well, I can do what I want. I'm filming a TV show. And the guy goes, golly, you have like 9 different jobs under your hat or something like that. It was just so funny watching this man get so pissed about, like, every corner we turned, we had a fucking license for that, to do that or something. So when he said it was, like, strictly for, you know, for a church, well, then we became a church. And that just really, like, boy, he was livid that day. He was livid. He showed up with like 6 police like the Monday after the show. He was so mad. And I walked out there and he said, well, where's your license at? And I said, well, we don't need a license. I said, well, we were denied. And he said, well, why? And I said, well, because it turns out we don't need a license. We don't sell anything. And again, he go, what, man? You're a church, like looking back at the cops and just kind of like, and just like what's going on with these people? Like, who are they? And man, he was PO'd. It was so cold that morning, but he was as hot as fire. He was. Anyway, brought in the articles. Took a couple pictures of him. He told me, I'll be back later on today, and you better have you know. What was it? I needed to have, anyway, he just wanted me to have this or to have that, and, well.
So how'd that night go down? What happened?
Well, you know, that night was the second time I'd ever missed a show, and I really wasn't missing a show. I just, you know, was home. Home is, you know, a rock throw away. And my friend Dawn came over, and, you know, her husband is Zach, and he plays with one of the bands here, Devil's Got a Hold of Me, and he's also runs Tennis Ramp, so shout out to Dawn and to Zach there. Anyway, so she had come over because she knew I wasn't feeling well, and she just wanted to come like talk to me for a minute, and started hanging out with her, talking, and I started feeling better. So I was just like, well, let's go over there. Let's go check out like what's going on over there, because, you know, it was a hip hop night. It wasn't even one of our nights. It was a hip hop night, and it was a big hip hop night. Like, these guys were really doing something here that night. It was so cool. Anyways, we were at the church, and I was throwing some jackets on and whatever, and all of a sudden we get a phone call from her husband, which she's waiting for. She's waiting for her husband to call her and tell her, you know, so, hey, so-and-so's going to be on stage here, so come on back. And instead we got, hey, there's a lot of cops outside. And, you know, Zach knew that she was with me, that Dawn was with me, and she was like, what? A lot of cops outside? And I thought to myself, oh God, here we go again. Let me get my shoes on. And it was nothing uncommon. I mean, the cops came here a lot just for the noise reasons, you know, really. But like as time went on, anyway, it just, they were outside. And I mean, when I walked out there, boy, there was like cops, you know, out the side of my building. There was cops out in the front of my building, like a big L. There's like lights, you know, fire marshals, just so many like lights. I remember, I didn't see Jason anywhere. And, you know, to be told, he was sitting in the cop car when I first walked out of the church. He already arrested. I had no idea.
Yeah, one thing I really appreciated was you stayed to the very end, make sure that you know, Christine was safe and taken care of.
Well, yeah, you know, I just feel like it was our show, you know, and you guys didn't do anything wrong to us. Nobody was lying to anybody. Nobody had any negative intentions. Everybody wanted to do the right thing and have great shows. So if y'all are gonna get in trouble, I feel like we should at least have to answer for what we were there for. And I didn't want to see the cops be too aggressive, you know, not like we could have done anything, you know, but this is a very thin line everybody walks with police these days, and that whole situation, and people seem to die really easy around them. And, there was a bunch of questionable people at that show that were trying to do good things in their lives, They come from bad areas that are trying to do good things like music and art instead of like slang drugs and be gangbangers. You know what I'm saying? So we tussled with a bigger gang that night and they won, So it's nothing but a thing. We'll keep it moving. I'm glad we didn't get beat up. I'm glad nobody got hurt, because, I finally left. I went, cruising around the block to see, because there's a Airbnb down the road that all the people from the show went to try to regroup to figure out what was happening, because we booked a bunch of studio time, and after the show, this was a big show, it was a big deal, big people were there, so I went to make sure those people were cool, and as I was driving, I seen where they had extra resources staggered all around the block, like they were ready to come kick the fucking doors in, for real. Like, they had motherfuckers hanging out, so nobody ever made any moves. I didn't see anybody do anything, but I did see too many cops at that show. I did see too many inspectors at that show. I did see an unorthodox way of telling somebody to fuck off.
So 2 years and a few months after that.
So you moved from Marshall County to Muscle Shoals. Mm-hmm. And then how long were you guys out in Muscle Shoals, and what happened out there?
Oh, man. I was out there for a year. I fucking hate that place.
Oh, yeah?
So I moved out. That's why I came out.
They learn to hate him wherever he goes.
Yeah.
It don't matter. They just hate that image right there.
Yeah.
They want to attack him at the gas station at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Shit.
I got beat up by a random group of old men.
What?
Our first night, it was dark. He pulls up to an intersection. He don't know how the traffic's going. He cuts somebody off. This other motherfucker follows us, right? We're going down the one lane. He's beside us trying to, you know what I'm saying? We stop. What the fuck's your deal? You cut that lady off. I don't give a fuck. Pulls up a gun. On him, I'm in the back seat. We got his little girl up in the front seat.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even supposed to go.
Wow.
He came back. I said, I'm riding with. Motherfucker just up the pistol. Oh my God.
That was our first day in the show.
Wow.
First day in the show was first night. I got the pistol up on me.
Damn.
It was by an old ass white dude. It was just a bunch of old ass white folks out there to beat your ass. The gangsters, man, they ain't playing.
KG Escobar, everybody calls me KG. I'm the founder of PBS and part of LFYM Productions. I'm from Gunnersville originally. Moved out here about 4 months ago, probably in Huntsville area, trying to reach out to everybody in this area to get the music scene popping for us here like it was back home.
Cool. So PBS, what does that stand for?
It stands for Products of a Broken System. It's for anybody that's been locked up or put through the system, or anybody that's from the slums or anything like that that feels like the system's never been really there for them. We feel you. Fuck them. Got a tape out right now called The Big Lean Bowski. We're fixing to drop a tape called Best Fucking Friends. He's got a new tape on the way right now. I got some I'm working on in the back that I'm not really trying to put out there right now. It's like a work in progress.
Right.
I'm trying to change up the sound a little bit currently. Maybe try a new wave of hip hop or anything like that.
Cool. So you were the last event booked here at Trashbone.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, when you first came here, you found us through Keith Miles.
Absolutely.
And what was your first impression when you saw the place?
Work in progress.
Right.
My first impression when I saw the place was that it had a lot of heart, I guess you would say. There was a lot of potential in the building and a lot of potential in the people that were around it and involved. So, like, my whole thing was when I got into show promotions and trying to put on shows is that I wanted to find somewhere that wasn't really a well-known place, and for us to be able to work together and turn it into something incredible, like, just the whole community coming together. And when I kind of got to Trashbone and started talking to everybody there, that's the feeling that I got, is that it was a community thing and everybody wanted to come together and do something, whether it was hip-hop, whether it was punk rock, any of it. I felt like it was fixing to be the headquarters for Huntsville.
Hey, KG. shit, bitch. Riding through my city, drop top, feel like ooh, I'm running to the money, need the paper, yeah, I need the guap. Try and stop my hustle and get your top pop. So icy in this bitch, I feel like ooh, I feel like ooh, I feel like ooh, I'm so icy in this bitch, I feel like ooh, I'm iced up, I'm feeling like Gucci. She steady shaking that booty, but I don't fuck with groupies. Nappy headed hoe, yeah, she just tryna throw me Gucci. I used to stand in the kitchen and get it like Lucci, breaking down the brick while my bitch holding the toolie. Oh, you could never play me. If you owe me, fuck you pay me. Shotty to the face, ha. Dick Cheney, I'm a little crazy maybe. When shit pops off they blame me. Don't ask me why shit, I don't know, I'm just doing Cajun. Riding through my city, drop top, gotta watch out for the cops. You know my city filled with ops. When it come to getting paper, I can never stop. I ran off on the plug, whole time screaming why. And motherfuck the 12, man, motherfuck the cops. Drop top, I feel like ooh, I'm running to the money, need the paper, yeah, I need the guap. Try and stop my hustle and get your top pop. So icy in this bitch, I feel like ooh, I feel like ooh, I feel like ooh, I'm so icy in this bitch, I feel like ooh, hey, this song should've featured Gucci, but I couldn't afford Gucci, so I'ma rap like Gucci, like bling, bow, burr, all these diamonds in my ear, I can hardly even hear, shining like a chandelier. I don't care about what you say and take that bullshit over there. Feeling like the white Gucci, the white wop. PBS, we running the game straight to the very top. Hit a new city, call the plug, let's set up shop. Comes to my hustle, ain't no way I could ever stop. Drop top, I feel like ooh, I running to the money, need the paper, yeah, I need the guap. Try and stop my hustle and get your top pop. So icy in this bitch, I feel like ooh, I feel like ooh, I feel like ooh, I'm so icy in this bitch, I feel like ooh, look man, don't bring no pussy ass crackers around me, bro, I swear to God, I'm slapping them motherfuckers down. Bring any pussy ass cracker around me, I bet I break them.
You know, you guys came like a day before the show and like really put in some work. You guys like completely tell us what you did.
So, if I'm being honest, I felt like the people that run you guys, I felt like you guys were a little overwhelmed. I know we had the heater issue. I know y'all had legal issues going on. Not fully legal yet. They were just trying to press y'all. And I know that not a lot of people knew about the police activity or anything like that. We were trying to all keep that on the down low because we thought they were just going to fuck off like they should have. But we wanted to do our part. They were giving us a place. You guys were giving us a place to do this. Trashbone was going to set it off for what we were trying to do, and it was big enough for the area. And I felt like they were overwhelmed with everything that they had going off. I felt like it was going faster than they might have seen. So we wanted to show up and help. So that day we just showed up. We kind of helped them set up the area. We cleaned out a back room for the artist. Probably all together, us together, we probably put in about 10 hours that day. And then, you know, we got dinner from you guys, which was amazing. So yeah, we put in some man hours here to try to make it what it was. We tried to make it what it was gonna be. What it wasn't what it was gonna be. It was fixing to be something amazing. What it was it was cool. It was a cool spot. We was hanging out. But what it was fixing to be was fixing to blow people's minds.
It was. In fact, you really took the venue to a whole new level with that green room back there and the whole, just the way everything flowed when people came in here and the atmosphere. It was off the chains. It was really amazing. Here, check out this clip real quick.
Bishop for them greens, big money making machines every week. I've been
10 years making rap tunes. Ever since Honeys was wearing Sassoon. Now it's 95 and they drop me and watch me down and shining. Looking like a Rob Liberace. It's all good, from Diego to the Bay. Your city is the bomb if your city make it play. Throw on a finger if you feel the same way. Straight hood and deal without a phone idea.
At that point in time, we was just kicking off. We had only had doors open for real for about 20-30 minutes when he caught that video. But at 7:30, doors didn't open till 8. We knew it was going to be something incredible because at 7:30, we had 20-30 people already lined up, and half of them were in the building because our security was so new to the program. They didn't even know what was going on or who was allowed or anything. Right, that video was taken just shortly after we opened. And probably 20 minutes after that, our capacity was already up to 100, easy.
Yeah, it was packed.
Yeah.
What do you remember about that night? What stands out to you most?
What stands out to me the most, man? So when I was in the green room, right? Just the green room was the spot we set up for all the artists, just kind of meet, talk, go over things, network, anything like that. So I was in the green room just talking. I was talking with Kid. He was hosting the show that night. I was talking to Kid, and we were looking at the cameras, trying to see how the crowd was moving and where they were going, and figuring out what we were going to do to get them a little bit more hype. About the same time they said that, Keith came into the room and told us that the police were outside, which we were expecting a little bit of police presence because that earlier that week, or the week before, y'all had a punk show. They showed up, did the mask mandate, whatever. And that's all we thought it was going to be. We thought they were just going to press us on that. But then I think that y'all said they showed up throughout the week and told us we were safe. So we were going off what they were telling us then. When they came in and told us the cops were there, I was just going to try to look busy. Because if I'm being honest, I was a little high. So I was going to try to look busy. So we come out here and do exactly what we said to do. We were going to turn the place up. We had about 40, 50 people on the dance floor. I mean, we had it packed out already, but we had about 40, 50 people on the dance floor jumping. And that's what sticks out to me the most, is because when we came out here, there was one cop up there. I hop on the stage with 7. Kid grabs a mic. He starts doing his thing, trying to get the crowd hype. I'm standing in the back, and I see 1 cop come in, 2 cop come in, 3 cop come in, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They just kept coming in. So then I started getting a little nervous. But they walk around with their flashlights, and I'm thinking they're just doing a little check like they was doing before, and they're gonna go. And they left. But we had it turned up. It seemed like we turned up harder when the police got here as like a big fuck you. You can't do anything, and that's what stands out the most. Like what I was saying earlier, this was supposed to be the spot where everybody come together.
Yeah.
So we all came together and was pretty much on that fuck the police shit that night. Until they came running back through. And when they came running back through, said shut it down, we were all just kind of dumbfounded. They started screaming some shit about a business license, which we all knew was ridiculous. Yeah. But eventually it was shut down for the coding. But that's what stands out to me the most, how we turned up so hard for the police. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Man, I wish I could have been there. You know, they walked up to me. I was outside, and I was in cuffs before they even had my last name.
Yeah.
Like, they knew exactly who I was. I had a warrant that was like a year old, and they, they grabbed me, put me in. And there was just a big message from them saying, hey, fuck you guys, we're bigger than you are. We're the fucking city. We have endless resources. And they came in with the fire marshal, and they're shut us down, and we ain't getting back up.
It's that broken system we was talking about.
It's that broken system.
Yeah.
Yep. It's that broken system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I knew they had hemmed you up before they even knew what your name was.
Yeah.
So like I felt like we were targeted.
Yeah, we were targeted.
From the time we booked that show till it happened, they targeted.
Oh yeah.
I felt like it was fixing to be something amazing. So if I felt that way and everybody around us was feeling that way, I feel like we put off that vibe through the whole city.
Yeah.
And they knew. you know, that we was fixing to actually have something going on here.
Yep, they did. They did know. We knew. Everybody knew. It was like I still go around places and like my truck has a big Trashbone logo, and people come up to me and talk about Trashbone that I've never even met. You know, it's like, man, we were around for 6 months, and we made a huge impact.
Yeah.
And now the building's gonna come crashing down. They're gonna bulldoze it.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's tragic.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about that. That sucks.
Yeah.
Because I know the man hours I put in here.
Yeah.
In a week. I can't imagine the man hours y'all put in here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's sad to see something that was serving the community be taken away from the community by the community, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's a terrible situation.
Yeah.
But I feel like it could be one of those situations where when they tear it down, the phoenix is always going to rise from the ashes.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So when it's burned down and this is dead and gone, this don't stop us.
Yeah.
These four walls don't stop us. These four walls were amazing for the time they were here. But we'll take this trash bone right here and we'll put it right up the street and you can't stop us then.
I just like I told him, I was here and the police were outside and not everybody had masks on. So I know that you have all those disposable ones. So I was giving people masks and I was like, at least have a mask on you in case they come in here. So I was giving people masks because I had my own. And I put mine on. I was telling people, you know, at least if they come here, you have one, because I don't know what they're coming here for. I don't know if they're coming here because it's a group or what. And then when they did come in and they said, we're shutting everything down, you can't operate a business without a license. And that's what I remember them saying. That was being shut down because we didn't have a license to be here.
So, like, literally what happened is, like, we're chilling, and you already know how the room was set up. We can see a lot of things from that room, right? So, like, we see what's going down, and it comes on a oh shit situation. Well, so things happen, we all get in our spots, and we sit down. The fucking officer rolls in there, he shines his light on me, I'm like, hey, you know, like, I ain't got nothing, what's up? He pulls us out, and he's like, let's get on the wall. He's like, y'all get on the wall right here. We line up on the wall, I'm like, man, what the fuck? Next thing I know, it's a doom, doom, doom. My brother over here, he done hit me, done tapped me 3 times, look at it, he's like, we going. And we fucking booked it, man. We got in the crowd. Like, we just mingled around, you know, and, like, after that, like, we did our thing, and we was able to get out of there.
Right.
Why was there a riot team waiting on us to do something crazy?
So you saw that?
Because we never done nothing crazy there, man. We never had a fight. We never had a shooting. Bro, we've had shows at the Trashbone Warehouse at the same time that a shooting was happening at another venue in the city.
So tell me exactly what you saw.
That night that we got ran in on, like, I seen about
15 fucking police, plus the ones on the road in front of the venue. It was on the side of the venue. They was behind the venue.
Like,
there was fucking just cops everywhere.
You see paddy wagon or SWAT team?
All the above.
They
didn't have a paddy wagon. They had like the whole like uniformed dudes like lined up, with the little army gear on, like on 1 block over, like
really,
like we were gonna fucking
guns out. Like
yeah.
Wow. And not no pepper sprays, paintball guns, no.
AR-15s,
they
machine
was
guns.
ready to come in like they thought we was gonna act the ass, bro. And it's funny that they wait till the night we have a hip hop show to do the things that they did.
And just people started funneling out of the doors. They're just like, people were just coming out. And, you know, I was told, like, you own this place where you stand right here and don't move. You wait for that fire marshal to get back. And I was like, all right, well, that's okay. And I'm just, like, watching this, like, look of disappointment on these people's faces. Like, some were angry and some were, like, confused. And, you know, I was just like, sitting there at the front door, like, you know, thanks, guys. And I really apologize about this. And, you know, hope you come back soon. Or whatever I can say. Any words that would make that moment better. And you know, there weren't any. And sorry. That night just sucked, you know, because looking back on it, like, that was the final moments here. And so anyway, I came inside with the fire marshal, and he was just taking notes on what he saw and what he wanted to say and what he was going to do. And the cops were here, like being big time jerks, getting up on stage, kicking everybody out, saying things that weren't true, like we didn't have the licenses or the rights to be doing this, like making us look like crap to like these people. And anyway, they just did a lot of things that they weren't supposed to do. They basically, in so many words, they raided the place. They went through my stepson's backpack, like going through it. And I even asked him, I said, what are you doing? Like, are you even allowed to be going through my stuff? Like, this isn't you don't have a warrant. And he gave me some bunk answer. And so it's kind of good, everybody kind of started fading out. And Keith Miles, he stayed back, and he was just kind of talking to the cops and the officer and the fire marshal and asking, like, just questions and like see what was going on. Around that time is when I found out Jason went to jail, or that they arrested him. And they asked for like the keys because they wanted to get into like the other buildings in the backyard. And I could already hear Jason's voice in my head, like, you tell him yes? Don't you ever tell him yes. So I thought to myself, I'm not going to tell him yes. So I told him I didn't have the keys. And so they went back to the jail to go get the keys from Jason and came back. And once we shut down in here, they condemned it, or they put a notice up and said, we couldn't come back in here until all these needs were met, and that they wanted to go see the building next door, the church. And I told him, well, I don't have the keys for that building. And he said, well, ma'am, we just went and got the keys from Jason. And I said, well, yeah, you got the keys for the venue. You didn't get the keys for the church. And I mean, they're on the same keychain, but they didn't know that. They just let me go ahead and go home. And I had 3 people on the phone calling me, asking me, let's go get Jason. Like, how do we get him out? And everybody and anybody's willing just to go, put whatever money they had up and go get him at that moment. And they did. We did. We went and got him, and within an hour or two, unfortunately, I wasn't there. I fell asleep prior to that. And that was the last night. That was the last night here, and we didn't even get to start that show. Those guys didn't even, that's what bummed me out the most, is like these guys like put so much into the show. They had people coming like from all around town, and I think it was like their first show on top of that. They were so excited, and boy, like they knocked it out of the park. Like for their first show, and for being like such a young crew. But they didn't even get to get it started. And in my opinion, it got started. I wasn't even here, but I just kind of saw some of the video of it, and they got it started. And those guys like would have really succeeded that night. Overall, like anybody's expectations, like they really knocked it out.
My very first show, Keith was telling me about this really dope warehouse, Trash Bone, and we went and checked it out and stuff, and it was like, I was thinking, when I seen the outside, I was like, oh man, I don't know about it. And then we walked in, and we met you guys, and like the place was just, I don't know, it was great, and I was like, first show, I was excited. I liked the way the place was set up, everything. It was just, I felt like it was the perfect place, at the time. And man, we promoted it. We didn't even have a long time to promote it. We had maybe a week or two, if that. And with it being my first show and everything, and Trash Bone really showed us some love, and Keith showed me a lot of love and helped me get these places and these things going.
And I know you had a lot invested that night.
Oh,
when you saw the cops coming in, and you knew at the point in time when you knew that the shit was getting broke up, man, what'd you feel like?
Man, I put a lot of money in from, it's not just money, it's hard work, sweat, time.
Your
time
name,
is priceless.
reputation.
Yeah.
All that, yeah.
The promotion company, production company, everything was on the line. And at first people were packing in by, I'm talking about, it was just loading the door down. People were just coming in. It's before the show even started, we were almost packed out.
Yeah.
First show. It was awesome. And then, I don't know, I hear someone scream, cop. So I started looking around, and then you see a cop come in, and then like he's talking and like making a big deal over nothing, like just acting like an asshole. But I feel like he could have broached it a little bit different, but some cops are that way. And then you started seeing 2-3 more in, and then I don't know, there's at least 10 to 15 cops in the building and another 20 outside.
Yeah.
And all you see is blue lights like all the way around the block, cops lined up everywhere. And it's like, my stomach dropped because I was like, man, how's this going to make me look? You know, it's the first show and it's already getting shut down before it starts. And not to mention all the work we put into it, all the people that were really looking forward to it. People that love doing this stuff were there, you know, and then a good 50 to 80 people like messaged me on social media platforms complaining like, what happened to the show? We came all the way from Birmingham, Decatur, like Aberville, Gunnersville area, all over the place in Alabama, really. And drove all the way out here just to find out that the show got shut down before it started. And I had to like explain to them, you know, like basically that Huntsville didn't want us there, pretty much. So it was a big deal. Like some of them, you know, wasn't trying to hear it, and then some were understandable. So it's not too bad of a loss, but we're coming back from it, you know?
Yeah, I wish there was something that we could have done to, you know, stop that from happening. I heard you had some artists that came in from out of the state.
Yeah, so we had Travis. He came in from Florida. He's doing big things out there.
Travis Goff,
yeah.
Oh, well, Chapo.
It's my guy. But, yeah, he's doing big things. Actually met him through Keith as well. Keith has plugged me in with a lot of people. And then we had KG, White Mike, PBS, their whole thing. We had DJ 7 coming out. We had Kid from Powerhouse. I had people from Nashville possibly coming. And before I could even say, are y'all on your way yet, I had to say the show's been shut down. It's crazy.
Yeah. It is.
When I left, I was hoping for maybe, you know, something slight, something we could get fixed so we keep having things here. And then they come to find out that they're actually basically shutting it down over here.
They're bulldozing it.
Bulldozing it down, so tearing it down.
They condemn the buildings.
It's sad.
Man, that blows my fucking
It
mind.
does. I know.
Bro.
It's like overkill, you know? It's like...
Maybe they said something to him.
So here we are, morning after. We pretty much got raided by the fucking police and fire. What's it called? Sheriff Marshal. Fire Marshal. Sheriff's office. Sheriffs were here. No, sheriffs wasn't here. It was Huntsville Police Department.
All right, because that dude that called said something about the sheriff's office. If I ever remember.
Oh, did he? See?
I think so.
I just think it was a scam. I think. But yeah, they arrested me. I'm gonna go see what the place looks like in here. I'm out the very next day. They condemned this place. They said it was unsafe. It's a bunch of shit. Bunch of crock. See if I can get this light here. It's all dark in here. Man. Man, it was a fucking kicking ass place last night, man. It was fucking popping. That shit was fucking going off. Man, that sucks. Huh. So that's weird. 3 cameras are off. I wonder why. Let's find out.
So, we went back and looked at the footage, and the reason these cameras were off was the police actually pulled the camera feeds, and we have footage of the police actually pulling them. You can see right here, this guy just right now recognizes that they're being recorded, and if you watch, you'll notice he tells his fellow officer, hey, we're being recorded right now, let's pull these cameras, and then he turns around and watch this, he comes right over and pulls the feed. The night they came and shut us down, they knew before they even came and set foot on the property that they came to condemn the buildings, regardless of what condition the buildings were in. And the reason I say this is because the fire marshal came with 35 cops, and in the middle of a show at 9:30 at night on a Saturday, and condemned 3 buildings. And they didn't even set foot in the second building, the church building. An idea, a movement, a unity movement is what we were trying to create. Right. And it was snuffed out because they felt like they could do it. They could snuff us out. See, they came to us and said, hey, you guys can't do this here. And so anybody, legitimately would have just said, okay, fine, then we'll go somewhere else and do it. But, we didn't. We said, we're going to keep doing it here. And they said, well, you can't. You're not zoned right. You can't do a fucking show. You can't do a club here. And so we said, well, give us a business license. We'll make a club. We'll do it right your way. Oh, you can't do it here. Right. So we said, okay, fine. Well, you know what? We're going to be a church then. And we're going to do a church here. And we're going to do the same thing we've been doing as a church, and we'll be untouchable. And you guys can go fuck off. That was our game plan. Right. And we did it. We pulled it off. We incorporated as a church. It was called Repurpose Ministries. And when they found that out, they were furious, and they had one card left to play, and that was it. And it was condemnation. Yeah. Bring the city, the fire chief, and condemn the buildings because they couldn't tell us to fuck off, being protected by religious freedoms. Right. Yeah. And I'm not really looking for any retribution or payback. I wanted to make this documentary to kind of, just as an homage to what we were able to do. It was a fucking awesome time. Yeah. And I wanted to put the city on blast because what they did was fucking shady. Yeah.
So looking back on this adventure that you went on, is this something that you are going to be trying to continue somewhere else? Is Trashbone going to be getting another warehouse and doing this some more, or what's the deal?
Oh my gosh, if the land was perfect and we could just do as we wanted to, whatever we wanted to, yes, 100% yes. And I'm 100% yes today. I'm also a realist, so I think about okay, are you going to have the financial capability of doing this? And you know what? God is great, and there's a very good chance that we will have that capability one day, whether it be, because of the blessings that we have, or, blessings that other people are sharing with us, or I don't know what's going to happen, but I can promise you Trashbone Warehouse will be back. We will be back. And I was talking to my girlfriend, which, Jessica, about this last night, and I don't know what the recipe here was. I don't know if it was the warehouse, if it was the size of the building, if it was the location of the building, if it was, I don't know, whatever it was, whatever this recipe was that made Trashbone Warehouse such a freaking rad place. People were talking about this place I can't tell you how many times me and Jason have had people come up to us and be like, thank you so much for putting this here. They were so grateful. We were all ages. We had, people who were underage who had to come here. We got to watch these kids with their dads and their moms having a good time, having a really good time with their folks, being able to experience what they loved. And their parents loved it too because they were the same way. This was the underground stuff that they would do when they were teenagers. So it was watching all that come together. I mean, we had Jason, our son, we had him, he's only 6 years old, on karaoke night one night. We had him up there singing. So many memories were built, and it was just so cool because we were able to do that with kids and with parents, bring them together and have a really cool time. So I just hope 110% that we do it again. Thank you to everybody who was a part of this. It was so fun, and it was such an experience that I would have never ever experienced if it wasn't for my ability to always say yes to Jason and his crazy ideas. I wouldn't get anywhere I wouldn't have done any of this stuff without him always trying to do something different and do something new and create something that the world's gonna revolutionize on. But it's true, and and anybody who was a part of this, thanks so much, because it truly was such a great time. and I can't wait to like see y'all again.